Your coffee cup just slid sideways off the table. You're still sitting on the couch. The ground is still down. But gravity isn't. It's 90 degrees off. West. The pull you feel isn't towards the planet's core anymore. It's towards the horizon. The ground beneath your feet isn't there anymore. The concept of down just shattered. Your entire body was built for a single constant vector pointing straight into the earth. That vector just rotated. Your inner ear is screaming at your brain. Your brain is refusing the signal. Your skeleton is about to follow suit. You would not die from falling. You would die from standing still. Your rib cage is a vertical cage of bone and cartilage, designed to expand downwards into your diaphragm. Gravity now pulls from the side. Your ribs cannot expand sideways. Your diaphragm cannot contract horizontally. You try to inhale. Your intercostal muscles tear. Your sternum grinds against your spine. You suffocate standing up, your lungs paralyzed in a chest that has become its own prison. This isn't a local problem. Every single structure on Earth was engineered for a downward load. Skyscrapers are vertical columns resisting compression. Now the load is lateral. The force that should push straight down the center of a steel I-beam now shears across its side. Concrete pylons snap like chalk. Reinforcing steel rebar shears clean. The first thing you hear isn't the collapse. It's the sound of a million buildings groaning in unison as their own weight tries to twist them into the ground. But the buildings are the least of it. Let's talk about the planet itself. Earth isn't a solid ball. It's a series of layers: crust, mantle, outer core, inner core, all held in a spherical shape by a gravitational field pointing uniformly towards the center. Rotate that field sideways, and you rotate the concept of center. The planet's own mass now pulls itself toward a point on the equator. The rock of the mantle isn't liquid, but under geological pressure, it behaves like a viscous fluid over time. Over time, just got a promotion. The entire mantle begins to flow laterally, dragged by its own titanic weight towards the new gravitational sink. The crust, the thin, brittle shell we live on, isn't attached. It's floating. It shears free. Continental plates, once jostling slowly, are now skidding sideways across a layer of liquefied rock. The Himalayas are now sliding. The Rockies are now tumbling. The Atlantic seafloor is now plowing into Brazil. Your lungs were the first micro-casualty. Here's the macro. The oceans. A 1.3 thousand kilometer thick column of water currently sits above the seafloor. Gravity shifts. That column is now horizontal. The entire Pacific Ocean, all 700 million cubic kilometers of it, begins to move west. It doesn't make a wave. It becomes a single, continent-deep wall of water, moving at ballistic speed. Coastal cities aren't flooded. They are atomized by hydraulic pressure before the water even arrives. The sound of the ocean floor scraping clean would rupture your eardrums from 1,000 kilometers inland, if you were still alive to hear it. There is also the atmosphere problem. Air has weight, about 5.5 quadrillion tons of it, stacked on your shoulders right now. That weight is now distributed sideways. A 50-kilometer thick ceiling of gas, weighing as much as the entire Pacific Ocean, suddenly presses against the side of a mountain range, against the side of a forest, against the side of your house. The atmospheric pressure at ground level doesn't change. The direction of its force does. Your kitchen window doesn't blow in. It's hammered into powder as the entire mass of the troposphere leans against the glass. The eggs on your counter don't scramble. They are pulverized inside their shells. Let me throw something at you. The magnetic field. Earth's magnetic dynamo is generated by the convection of molten iron in the outer core, a process dependent on stable radial gravity. Tilt the gravity field, and you disrupt the convection patterns. The geodynamo stutters, fails. The magnetosphere, our shield against solar radiation, collapses within hours. Unfiltered cosmic and solar radiation bathes the surface. Not with fire, but with silent, penetrating particle streams that shred DNA. Life doesn't burn. It unravels from the inside out. But the core itself has a more immediate plan. The inner core is a solid ball of iron nickel, suspended in the liquid outer core. Its shape is maintained by pressure from all sides, with gravity pointing inward from every direction. Make gravity pull sideways, and that symmetric pressure distorts. The solid inner core experiences a differential stress it was never designed to handle. It doesn't melt, it fractures. Seismic energy released from a shattering inner core makes every earthquake in history feel like a gentle tremor. The shock waves travel through the now chaotic outer core, through the flowing mantle, and hit the sliding crust like a hammer hitting a pane of glass. So we have a new map. A planet where down is a cardinal direction. East is up. West is down. North and south are just walls. The surviving landscape, if anything could survive, reorients entirely. All loose material, every rock, every car, every mountain that wasn't bedrock, has already slid west into a planet-spanning debris pile piling up against whatever continental crust first met the new gravitational wall. You wouldn't have oceans, you'd have a single, vertical cliff face of water frozen in mid-slide, held against a continent wall by the very force that killed it. A bit of a design flaw, really. Life that evolved in a vertical gravity well cannot adapt to a horizontal one. Trees grow sideways, their roots desperately grasping at vertical cliffs. Rivers don't flow downhill, they flow down west, carving vertical channels down cliff faces. Rain doesn't fall. It slides sideways across the sky, a constant horizontal drizzle scouring the landscape. The day-night cycle remains, but sunset now happens along the vertical axis. The sun appears to slide up and down the sky, not arc across it. Humanity, or what's left of it, becomes a species of cliff dwellers. Architecture is reinvented from first principles. Floors are vertical walls. Stairs are obsolete. Ladders are your streets. Your bed is a harness on a vertical plane. Falling doesn't mean plummeting downward, it means sliding endlessly west across a frictionless plane until you hit the terminal debris wall of the world. The very concept of a horizon is gone. Your world has two horizons, the ground wall below your feet and the sky wall above your head. The thermodynamic end state is a planet tidally locked to its own gravity. All movable mass, oceans, atmosphere, crust, migrates west until it reaches equilibrium, piled against the immovable core. You are left with a stratified world. A vertical slice of reality. One face bathed in perpetual stellar radiation, the other in absolute deep cold. A planet not spinning through space, but locked in a perpetual grinding slide against its own fundamental forces. Gravity was never just a force. It was the architect of our reality. Change its direction, and you don't just change the rules. You delete the border. If you enjoyed this, like the video, drop a comment, and subscribe so you don't miss the next one.